enrichment doesn't mean like air conditioning, and it doesn't mean to jack up your car. Enrichment is a bad word.
So what do we do when we have a president who is in clear decline, who is already intellectually incurious, the most ignorant man to ever hold the office, but also now is suffering from the ravages of age? And he's surrounded by sycophants, bootlickers, ass kissers, people who will not challenge him or even sound the alarm. That's me ringing a bell. Or even sound the alarm that there's some serious stuff going on here and we need to rectify this situation. What do you do? Well, we need to come up with an answer because we are currently being faced with that situation exactly as I describe it. Donald Trump yesterday, before yesterday, but he sat for an interview with Maria Bartiromo, the same conspiracy theory reporter, journalist from Fox News, who brought us the conspiracy theory about Dominion voting systems that was emailed to Sidney Powell and then forwarded to Maria Bartiromo from a woman who said that the wind tells her she's a ghost. And so Maria Bartiromo, brilliant, thought, oh, this is a credible source. Let me bring this to the American people. She interviewed Donald Trump, and I have two clips for you that really exemplify. They are emblematic of the problem before us as a nation and a people with myriad problems that need solved and have no one in the room to solve them. The first should be making Alex Thompson and Jake Tapper just salivating at the prospect of writing another book about cognitive decline, right? I mean, it's crickets from the peanut gallery. They're nowhere to be found. They're too busy trying to forward the GOP agenda and white supremacy. Thanks a lot, fellas. Here's Donald Trump explaining the dangers of uranium enrichment in a way that really should strike fear into you, and not in some panic, oh my God, what is happening? But like, what is happening here? Watch this from Donald Trump. Again, brilliant mind, unparalleled genius from Donald Trump.
But it's been an amazing period of time.
When you went to the Middle East and you strengthened those relationships with all of those countries you just mentioned, did you have an idea that you would have to do something with regard to Iran? Because you teased it a little. You said, look, they've got to come to the table and talk. Something's going to happen.
Well, it was getting a little bit hot, and we knew they had a lot of sites, probably 3 plus the 1. But they had 3 main sites, and we knew they're going to have to either give them up. And I thought we could do it during negotiation, and we just about had it done. And then they said, we want enrichment. Enrichment doesn't mean like air conditioning, and it doesn't mean to jack up your car. Enrichment is a bad word. And I said, you got so much oil, what do you need that for? And they said, well, we need it. And I wouldn't let that happen. I think people wouldn't have understood it if I allowed that to happen. So we had a 60-day talk, and that delayed them a lot. And then we said, let's go at it. And it just worked out. And we wanted to work out also for Iran. They were beaten up, and so was Israel. In all fairness, they were both very tight. We call it the 12-day war. That was an intensive war. But the thing that I wanted to do, and I've said it on your show, if you look back 30 years ago or 25 years, we've been doing your show a long time, and nobody like you. But you look back at the early interviews, I would say.
Wait. Sir, with tears in my eyes, Donald Trump, do you mean to tell me that the Iranian nuclear weapons program that they seek and the high-tech uranium enrichment process doesn't mean like air conditioning or jacking up your car? What? I thought for sure that the science behind uranium enrichment in order to satisfy the frothy lust for a nuclear weapons program certainly meant air conditioning. and jacking up my truck. That's where we are. So look, let's offer as much fairness and charity as we can to this situation. Does Donald Trump, is he just communicating to his low information rube base, the Fox News viewers who are obsessed with jacking up their trucks and air conditioning? I mean, what is going on here? Where is the media? Certainly you're not going to find them at Fox News asking any tough questions whatsoever. But I would expect people in the mainstream media and the regular, normal corporate media that has already bent the knee largely to be asking questions. Would you not? Don't they owe it to us? After all, they luxuriate under the umbrella of a constitutional protection. It wasn't just that moment. Here he is talking about tariffs in about the most nonsensical way possible, where he can't conjure the name of the Prime Minister of Japan, and instead calls him Mr. Japan.
So July 9th is coming up. What are you going to do about the end of the pause in the tariffs?
It's so simple. We're sending letters out. I'd rather do it now. My guys, hey, I have great guys, Scott, Howard, other people, Jameson. They're talking to all these countries. We made a deal pretty much with India. We made a deal with China. We made a deal with UK, great people. We made deals. But I'd rather just send them a letter, a very fair letter, saying, congratulations, we're going to allow you to trade in the United States of America. You're going to pay a 25% tariff or 20% or 40 or 50%. I would rather do that. So when I get
we're not trying to extend the pause?
I don't think I'll need to, because I could. There's no big deal. It's like TikTok. I'm extending that, but no big deal. We have a buyer for TikTok, by the way. I think I'll need probably China approval. And I think presidency will probably do it.
Who's the buyer?
I'll tell you in about 2 weeks.
A big technology company there.
Very, very wealthy people. It's a group of very wealthy people. But what I want to do is, and what I will do just sometime prior to the 9th, is we'll send a letter to all these countries. There's 200 countries. You can't talk to all of them, no matter how many people you have. You can't talk to all of them. We'll send a letter and we'll say we would consider it a great honor, and this is what you'll have to do to shop in the United States. We're like a department store, to shop in the United States, and you'll pay a 25% tariff, and we wish you a lot of luck. And that's the end of the trade deal, because we have something that nobody has. But if I didn't get elected, I'm telling you, we wouldn't have had a country left. You know that better than anybody. Nobody covers it better than you. If I didn't turn this thing around, this big ship around, we turned it around just like those ships coming out of China. They were coming and loaded, and in the middle of the ocean, they were forced to go back because at 145% tariff, Walmart, nobody wanted their product. And that caused a big problem for China. And then I helped China. So by reducing it.
We still don't know. We don't have the clarity on what you're going to do with these expiration of these pauses. July 9th?
No, I thought I just said it. No, I thought I just said it. You ready?
You're going to send letters.
I'm going to send letters. That's the end of the trade deal. I could send one to Japan. Dear Mr. Japan, here's the story. You're going to pay a 25% tariff on your cars.
So for all of the talk about 90 deals and 90 days, and Donald Trump is the greatest negotiator, he'll just bring everyone to the table and solve all of our economic woes with his disastrous tariff policy that's already crashed the stock market once. Now it's not 90 days and 90 deals in 90 days. It's, I'm going to write him a letter. You want to shop here? Okay, Sonny. You can shop here, but you got to pay 25%. I'm going to send letters on the trade deal. I could send one to Japan. Dear Mr. Japan, here's your story. Donald Trump is not fit. He is not capable. He's not able. He's not suited to the work. He's suited to grifting. He's suited to shilling. But he's not suited to this. And we're all going to suffer for it while they push through this insane budget bill that will rob Americans of their health care. cutting nearly $300 billion from food assistance to hungry children. While they deny that all of this is going to happen, when it happens, they'll somehow find a way to blame the Democrats. And largely, corporate media is asleep at the wheel. Some of them are actively working in service to the Trump agenda. Jake Tapper, Alex Thompson from Axios, while they cash their big fat checks. Maybe they want the insane budget bill, the big beautiful bill. Maybe they want that passed because they made so much cash off their book deal trashing Joe Biden that now they need to protect that wealth that they created through their lies and their conspiracies. And they want to protect it through the tax cuts that Trump is offering. It's just a cycle. It's like a human centipede of garbage from these people. Anyway, what do you think? I invite you to this conversation. Lot to digest. You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I'd love to hear from you. Follow me on social media. If you're already there, it's a nightmare out there. But if you're already there, I am at Dollemore just about everywhere. Mainly on Blue Sky, but a little on Threads and Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. I'm not on Nazi Twitter, though, because, you know, Nazis. Anyway, I love and appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. It's going to be a big week. Be genuine. Take care of one another. There's been plenty of coverage about how Trump's big, beautiful bill would disembowel Medicaid. But did you catch the subtext? MAGA loyalists slid into it, providing a legal loophole that could effectively make Trump untouchable. This bill would stop federal judges from enforcing any court order against the executive branch unless you first pay a bond potentially so high most Americans wouldn't be able to pay it. So if this bill passes and Trump then violates the law, repercussions would likely be muted at the very best. This is the GOP's playbook in action. Create chaos in the headlines for people to focus on, while actual authoritarian decisions are being ushered through under the radar. We need more visibility on items such as this, especially when there is so much day-to-day chaos in the news. That's why I use Ground News. It is a remarkably helpful tool at looking at topics from multiple angles and for exposing blind spots that might otherwise slip past your everyday news consumption. Ground News is the only app and site built to pull in news from across the globe and then break down the bias and credibility of each source. You can also use Ground News' browser extension when you're reading news elsewhere to flag the bias of a source and link to other credible reports to cross-reference the information. Ground News is simply a better way to stay informed. No algorithms, no echo chambers, no blind spots. Scan this QR code or head to ground.news/Dollemore now to score 40% off the same Vantage plan that I use, which gives you unlimited access for just $5 per month. You can also click the link in the description below to save. We have another 3.5 years of this insanity, and the right is counting on you to be distracted. See all the news with Ground News.